I'm surprised Epcot made that list.
But why? I don't understand what that means.
So a lot of Epcot's cast members are international students.
Yeah, for World, yeah.
And they all got sent home when this started to their individual countries. And all those countries either sponsor those the World Showcase area or whatever. So that's a lot. That's a good chunk of that park doesn't going to have anybody technically.
Well, unless they already made arrangements to bring them back.
Don't we still have travel bans in place?
Yeah,
not really. No, there's exceptions to every travel ban, friend.
Okay. All right.
What countries? The exceptions to be they're essential. They work at the happiest place on earth.
Interesting.
Think about it. If a person how do you get around a travel ban if you're a human being from some other country? You have to have some worth in this country. To put it very be simplistic about it. I don't know all the details and stuff, but yeah, huh?
I would assume you're probably right.
Yeah,
you know what he said about assumptions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You guys assuming.
All right. I'll take that one. I'll take that L.
Will you though? But will you though?
Anyway, but yeah, I think for at least for Central Florida, that's almost like the kickstart, the jump start. You know, that's applying the jumper cables to the heart of Florida, saying, "We're ready."
What do you mean? You mean Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Disney kicks off everything, all bets off. We were off and running.
Yeah, and you know they'll do it right.
No, if Disney gets in gear, let's go. We're all good.
Yeah.
Because they 40,000 people employed by Disney, 50,000, whatever that number, that insane number
70,000.
70.
Okay, fine. Okay, so
yeah.
So if they get going.
So here's a question for you. You know, with all the talks about people not wanting to go back because they're getting a little cheese.
There's no cheese.
Well,
there's no cheese.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I know in other states they're having this problem.
You're in Florida.
No. They have it in Florida too. But the deal is, I read this snippet from Mitch McConnell this morning, because they're standing against trying to get additional stimulus to people, and the Republicans and probably a lot of Democrats too. Their feeling is the stimulus is an incentive not to go back to work, so you're probably not going to get it.
Yeah, you got to cut that off, right? Time to go back to work.
Well, it'd be more than
I'm saying.
they actually.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what them jacks said.
Yeah. Guess what? People are going to want to come back to work because they're not getting paid the money the very little money they were promised to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
You're right. So the argument to say
but
you
it's
can't
not
give
like
them anything else. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, and it's not like I think people want to go back to work. It's not up to the frontline person to make that decision. It's up to these different companies to make that decision.
That's true.
So if the Republicans really wanted to make some things, they would push hard on companies to reopen. But they're not even doing that.
Well, I think they are.
Yes, they are.
Because they're trying to make, at least the airline industry, they're trying to say, look, we gave you this money to do this. You need to keep your people on. I mean, that's one of the things. Go ahead.
I think you're going to see that they're going to have layoffs in the fall once they get past that money.
Yeah.
There was stipulations with that, and they've kept that far. But I think
there's nobody in the air. There's nobody in the airport. A friend of mine who was flying on business, on where he was going, he sent me a picture back at the flight he was going. Like it was a long, I forget where he was going, but from Tampa here. And dude, there was nobody in the plane. It was like,
but coming out of Orlando is a bit different. Like there used to be like a dozen or so flights going to Atlanta. Now there's like 2. So if you don't make it on one, the flight's full. You can't go. And then now the prices are back up too.
Those are like shuttles, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Delta.
No, Atlanta to Tampa. That's a shuttle flight.
Atlanta's a hub.
That's a shuttle.
So it gets you right. I got you.
I'm gonna put it this way: I don't work for the state government. I don't work for the federal government, and I'm not answering that damn.
Those are questions I need answered.
I talked to my friends. I talked to a buddy of mine calls me the other day. He's furloughed, right?
Right.
He was making a damn good living. He can't figure out. He said now he should go apply. He didn't apply for unemployment because they did certain things to him then. But now they're saying like, nothing going to happen. He said, now what do I need to do? Apply for unemployment. It's all screwed up. And in the state, because the federal government hasn't taken taking their bull by the horn, so it's state to state crash. It's some issues out there right now as far as a human being trying to just survive through this mess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
Okay.
Hey, you gonna say something?
Yeah, it's the expectations for what we need to do to get the economy moving are not paired up to the reality of what's out there. Like I feel like there's a lot of people talking about, we got to move the economy, we got to open the economy, we got to make things happen. It doesn't open up that fast, and it's not open up at the same time because y'all didn't shut it down at the same time. And Joe Bob over here may have some money, but Sarah over here doesn't. That's the kind of situation we're looking at.
Cool.
But if you're essential, you might still be working, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And
you also got to think about those people with dual incomes or triple incomes in their households, that one may have been on furlough, one may have been on unemployment, and one may still be working. That whole dynamic could change too. I mean, there's a whole lot of scenarios out there for families and multi-units living in the same household. It's just unclear. I mean,
I'll tell you right now, to answer your June question. You might, so you had applied in the beginning of June because now you're trying to apply. You might not get anything. There's people who already applied who are only
still haven't
got state checks. They might be getting federal checks.
Yeah,
or still haven't got either one. So if you back in the line already, you should really the back of the line. This is the new normal. I think here's the other problem. I think people are really chomping at the bit to get out there and do something.
Like what? Party on the beach?
Party on the beach. I want to go to the movies. I want to go to the bar. Blah blah blah. That is
on one spectrum, but I think there's a group of individuals out there, a class of people out there who's looking for the next thing. They're probably creating the next Facebook or the next somebody's out there coming up with something, right?
Yeah. No. All I'm saying is there's a lot of pent up demand to do stuff, whether it's go shopping or get some things. And the pushback is not every place is treating us the same way. So you could go to a Costco and be Wild Wild West in there.
Yeah.
And then you come to my Best Buy and we're like, no, you can't come in.
You can't come in, right? It was just like I went and got
it's my American right to come in. It ain't.
Right. Well, it's the same thing that happened today. I went to a business that just recently opened, and I walked to the door and they greeted me at the door and said, "You can't come in until it's your time. Your appointment's at X time. We don't want you loitering in here, and you need to bring your own water and your own mask." And I respect that.
That's simple. So guys, it's gonna take a minute. But what I'm telling you, since they said we can go out for a little bit to go out to tavern and stuff. Look, listen.
Man, you've been going out since it started. So,
but it's no fun.
Exactly, because nobody's there, and you can't. Nobody's there. Bar.
And if there's somebody there, you can't snuggle up next to them. You can't do anything. You can't do your business.
Well, a Florida woman did. She tried to kiss everybody at the bar.
Well, She was what we used to call in the old days a barfly. But anyway,
boy, she was on them. And then not only that, she goes out and calls the 911 on the place and no one social distancing after she tried to tongue everybody.
Yeah, she may have did a couple of them.
Oh, well, unless she did it from jail because they arrested her ass.
Later, but she had been they only
had been there for a minute.
No, they only arrested her because she wouldn't leave.
Right. She went down and she went outside and sat down. But she called 911 5 times. 5 times to report them from not social distancing when she was
it sounds to me like that's a whole other issue there.
Yeah.
You got a mental health issue there.
You know what the issue was? She's been locked down for 3 months and she needed to get some.
It's still a mental health issue.
I don't know. Is that or substance abuse?
You've been over drinking. You've been over drinking in the last 2 months.
Tolerance not there anymore. She
wants to go out and be with people. Define that.
Define over drinking?
Yeah.
Somebody's been stuck in quarantine for 2 months and they've been drinking every day.
As opposed to when you're not in quarantine?
Yeah.
Where you might be social drinking or I got to drive, so I'm not going to drink as much. or, oh, I'm going to a place where there's bartenders, so they're not going to pour me as much. You home, you can do what you want.
I'm not going to a bartender doesn't pour me as much. Next question.
You know what? To go back to what you just said though, when people actually go back out to these bartenders and we've been at home pouring our own drinks, those drinks are not going to taste the same.
Well, okay, so I put it this way. I went to a place I frequent before the whole lockdown became. And a couple, and I know, like, bartenders and stuff like that. And the two that were there, they were appreciative. They said, "Oh, thank you for coming, because we were hoping that our regulars would come by at least, and then they can do different things." Now the bar's still shut down. You can sit at places. They got masks on, which is funny as hell, and you get a drink.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
I've been there a couple times since because of them. I went and have a couple of drinks because of them, just to support.
I agree with you 100% because you saw on Friday night, was it Friday night? Yeah, you both were there. That, when my favorite bartender came in that night at our watering hole there, we gave each other a big hug. Like, hey, it's been a minute. He goes,
well, I didn't hug anybody at the place, but I give him.
Yeah.
Look, I assume, and I shouldn't, just like you said. You know what happens when you assume?
No, they say about assumptions.
They're taking your temperature. When I went into the place today, that I was just talking about, when I walked through the door, they took my temperature. They looked at me. They kind of looked me over. I felt like a piece of meat, but I know what they got to do. What they got to do.
You are a piece of meat.
Hey, dog looking for some meat.